Greetings, members, one and all of the Salivation Nation. Silver rises above $28. Gold is above $1,860, while Bitcoin tumbles. Let's explore. Indeed, what an exciting day in the markets, and it kind of proves vindication to some extent to the hard assets out there and how they have been performing. Many of us have been wondering when we were going to see $28 silver again. Well, here we are. It's back in full force, and it just goes to show you the volatility of the markets, and also with the Bitcoin falling and other cryptos as well. But we can see the markets here, and looking at this live an hour or so before the close of the markets, gold is up $22.10, up well over a percentage point. Silver is up over 2.7% now, up 74 cents, almost 75 cents on the day here. Platinum and palladium are both up as well. And silver is the big winner. As we know, it typically does react much more radically when the markets move. This has narrowed the ratio of gold to silver down to 66.22. Many of us feel like it should be much lower than that. Silver should be performing even greater, but it may just be a delayed reaction. I think it will eventually get there when we may see 60 or below to 1 between gold and silver. Let's take a look at an article here from Jim Wyckoff over at Kidco News. This is interesting to see how this is playing out and some of the reasons behind it. Gold notching a nearly 4-month high and silver at a 3-month peak. Both precious metals are being supported by global stock markets, are tumbling a bit to start the trading week, and the cryptocurrency markets are taking a bigger hit. Bullish technical charts for gold and silver have also the metal bulls are very confident at present. And we see June gold futures. They were last up $29.30 at $1,867.50. And July COMEX silver was last up about 93 cents to $28.30 an ounce. Reports today show money flows are moving back into the SPDR Gold Trust Exchange Traded Fund, possibly due in part to the cryptocurrencies that have become wobbly recently. Yes, indeed. And that's just it. When you have these speculative assets such as Bitcoin and the like, well, you're going to see much greater volatility because there's really nothing holding it up. At least with gold and silver, you have the fact that they have this intrinsic value that has lasted for thousands of years. That's not the case with Bitcoin. What do you have backing Bitcoin up? Well, the largest tangible thing is really not tangible at all, and that is the energy used to create these Bitcoin. 21 million of them in total, and of course the other cryptocurrencies, they operate under different, they're not limited, or at least not in the same way as Bitcoin. So global stock markets were mostly weaker over the night. U.S. stock indexes are lower at midday. So the discussion in the marketplace continues to be on whether inflationary pressures will grow to levels that create economic distress down the road. I think it's safe to say that is the case. The line coming from the Federal Reserve at present is that rising inflation is only a transitory matter. We keep hearing that. It's crazy, but I certainly don't take their word for it, for sure. Other economists and market analysts say inflation cannot help but become problematic in the coming months and point to strong evidence in place already, including generally rising raw commodity prices. History shows that price inflation that becomes problematic is bullish for the metal markets. And even you got to look beyond the intraday trading or even the interweek trading of precious metals. Sooner or later, it's going to catch up. And I think that's maybe part of what we might be seeing today with the markets. But I think the biggest move of the markets today is probably the crypto markets tumbling here. China reported More generally, strong economic data on Monday as industrial output in April was up 9.8% year on year, while retail sales were up 17.7% in the period. The retail sales figure was less than forecast. These numbers coming out of the world's second largest economy certainly land in the higher inflation camp. And so that is the kind of thing that we got to keep in mind here too. The NYMEX crude oil prices are higher and trading around $66.25 a barrel. Remember the days when oil was trading at negative $38 a barrel? Ah, those days, long gone now, aren't they? So the yield on the benchmark 10-year U.S. Treasury note is presently fetching around 1.625%. We'll see how that plays out, if it will go up or down. So nonetheless, the rest of this is kind of technical talk here as far as where the prices are. But you look at these major moves up for gold and silver here. Gold up drastically here, and silver up even more so. We'll see how this plays out in the end. But looking at the crypto markets, Yahoo Finance, the flagship crypto on Sunday night broke its key support levels amid intense selling pressures in play as weighed heavily on the value of many crypto assets, including Ethereum, XRP, Internet Computer. Sell-offs got intensified with Elon Musk's most recent tweet reaction pushing the price of the flagship crypto to the lowest prices since February, after implying via a Twitter exchange that the world's most valuable car company might diversify its Bitcoin holdings. At the time of drafting this report, the world's most valuable crypto asset by market value was down by 10% for the day as it traded around $43,200 on the FTX exchange with a daily trading volume of $64 billion. Bitcoin currently has a market value hovering around $808 billion. And the pioneer crypto asset momentarily broke below the key support levels of $45,000 for the first time in almost 12 weeks after the powerful tech billionaire gave his bias to a social media post that suggested Tesla might sell off its $1.5 billion stake in the largest cryptocurrency. It's important to note that Elon Musk has a strong influence in the cryptoverse via having strong following on social media with his market-moving tweets, thereby triggering so much outrage among crypto fans after such statement was made, as present market sentiments reveal record cash outflows in place on the account that many retail investors are reducing their exposures. Just goes to show you, we talked about how the Fed chairman or chairperson, when Janet was in charge of the Federal Reserve Bank, I posted a video about this. I remember it quite some time ago how just a couple of words out of her mouth can move gold and silver. Well, now look at how a tech billionaire, quite extravagant and flamboyant one, we've got here with Elon Musk moving the crypto markets. Crazy to think about. Something else. But you know what? The reality is that crypto is much more susceptible to a 30% move based off of a tweet than gold and silver is, no matter who or what anybody says about it. Gold will never drop in the same way that we can see an asset that, well, and again, I'm not against cryptocurrencies. People have done very well with them overall. If you bought in a Bitcoin at $10,000 a Bitcoin, well, hey, you're still ahead of the game, right? So there is that kind of situation you have to take into account here. But it is interesting indeed to see how this is all playing out. How it really is starting to attract people more towards the safe haven assets like silver and gold. And I think that is quite noteworthy here with the SPDR Gold Trust Exchange Traded Fund said money flows are there. But you know what? It's still an exchange traded fund. And we know those are under scrutiny right now too. So it's just interesting to see that this is moving in with the clicks of a mouse. And but nonetheless, I think that as far as the best way to protect yourself is in the physical form of gold and silver. But nonetheless, it's exciting to see the movement in the metals, unless you're a buyer when you want to be able to accumulate more of them. For those of us, well, it kind of hurts and stings a bit. It smites to see these prices shoot up like this. But nonetheless, we will persevere and press on as we see gold now make a pretty strong move towards $1,900, at least if it continues the way it is today. But you know what? This could all turn around tomorrow. We could go back to where we were before in reverse within a week. Therefore, we could see Bitcoin reach new all-time highs yet again, and silver and gold kind of just mellow out a bit. But you know, the thing is the mellowing out of gold and silver will never get to the point where they are worthless assets or don't do what they have done for millennia, more than a millennia, and that is preserve your wealth. So therefore, we can certainly celebrate today for their high prices. But you know what? We celebrate them for what they are, the intrinsic value that they contain, the fact that they are monetary metals, and the fact that they will preserve our wealth over the long course of time. So there you have it. There's your news for today. Very interesting indeed to see where the metals are going. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Is this the beginning of a trend of a couple of days of higher prices? Will they subside? Is this just a one and done thing? And then they'll start to go back down again? A dead cat bounce, as it were? We'll find out. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.